My friends, I come before you today with a message that burns deep within my heart. A message for the weary, the burdened, the ones who feel lost in life. You may be sitting here today with a heavy heart, unsure of where you are going, uncertain of the purpose of it all. You may have tried to find meaning in success and wealth in the applause of others, only to feel more empty than before. You may have walked down roads that promise fulfillment only to find disappointment at every turn. You may have thought that if you just had the right career, the right relationships, the right possessions, you would finally feel complete. And yet here you are, still searching, still longing, still lost. The truth is, my friends, that every single one of us at some point in our lives will come to a moment of reckoning. A moment when we realize that the things of this world cannot satisfy the deepest hunger of our soul. It is a hunger that no amount of money, no level of fame, no degree of power can ever quench. And so we find ourselves lost, not because we lack direction in this world, but because we have lost the very thing that gives our lives meaning. Perhaps you know what it feels like to wake up in the morning and wonder why you are here. Maybe you go through the motions, wearing a mask of confidence, but deep inside, you feel like a wanderer in the desert, searching for water that you cannot seem to find. You are not alone. There are countless others who feel the same. But I tell you today, my friends, there is an answer to this longing. There is a way out of this wilderness. You see, we were never meant to walk this road alone. We were never meant to carry these burdens by ourselves. The reason so many feel lost is because they have drifted from the one who gives life its true purpose. They have been chasing after the fleeting pleasures of this world, only to find themselves further away from the peace they so desperately seek. My friends, listen to me, there is a way home. There is a path that leads out of the darkness. There is a voice calling out to you even now, whispering to your heart, saying, come back to where you belong. But many of us in our pride and our stubbornness refuse to listen. We tell ourselves that we can figure it out on our own, that we don't need anyone's help, that we are strong enough to find our own way. And so we keep running further and further into the wilderness until we are too exhausted to go on. Some try to drown the emptiness with distractions, entertainment, relationship success. Others try to numb the pain with substances, with destructive habits, with anything that will make them forget, even for a moment, the ache in their souls. But no matter how far we run, no matter how many things we try to fill the void, we cannot escape the truth. We are lost without the one who made us. My friends, maybe you are sitting here today and you are tired of running. Maybe you are tired of trying to figure it all out on your own. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you are willing to admit that you need help. Let me tell you, there is hope. There is a way out of the darkness. There is a light that shines even in the deepest night, a light that will guide you home. But you must make a choice. You must decide whether you will keep wandering through life without purpose or whether you will turn toward the truth. You must decide whether you will keep trying to do it all on your own or whether you will surrender to the one who has been calling you all along. My friends, life is short. The days pass like a vapor. We do not have the luxury of wasting them, wandering aimlessly, hoping that somehow, someday, things will make sense. I tell you, the time is now, the moment is now. If you feel lost, if you feel weary, if you feel like you have nowhere left to turn, then listen. There is a way home. There is a place of rest. There is a love so deep, so strong, so unshakable, that it will fill the emptiness in your heart like nothing else ever could. You don't have to keep searching. You don't have to keep running. You don't have to keep trying to fix it all on your own. The door is open. The path is clear. Will you take the first step? My friends, I ask you today, how long will you continue wandering in the wilderness of uncertainty? How long will you keep searching for something that this world cannot provide? Some of you have spent years chasing after success, hoping that once you achieve enough, once you earn enough, once you prove yourself enough, then you will feel complete. But the truth is, the moment you reach that goal, the satisfaction is fleeting. You tell yourself that maybe you just need more, maybe you need to climb higher, accomplish greater things, but deep down, you know it will never be enough. Others have sought fulfillment in relationships, believing that if they could just find the right person, then they would finally feel whole. But no human being can fill the void inside of you. No amount of love from another person can heal what is broken within. You see, the human heart was made for something greater. We were designed for a purpose beyond what this world can offer. And when we try to live apart from that purpose, we feel it. We feel the emptiness, the longing, the sense that something is missing. Some of you have tried to silence that feeling with distractions, filling every moment with entertainment, with noise, with busyness, because you are afraid that if you sit still long enough, you will have to face the truth. But my friends, running from the truth will not change it. Ignoring the ache in your soul will not make it go away. You can pretend for a time, you can put on a smile and convince everyone around you that you have it all together, but when you are alone, when the distractions fade and the noise quiets down, you know that something isn't right. Some of you have reached a place of such deep despair that you've begun to believe there is no way out. You have convinced yourself that you are too far gone, that you have made too many mistakes, that your life is beyond repair. Maybe you have tried to change, tried to turn things around, only to fall back into the same patterns again and again. Maybe you have come to believe that this is just the way things are, that you are doomed to live lost without hope, without purpose. But my friends, that is a lie. There is no darkness too deep, no road too far, no heart too broken that it cannot be restored. The greatest tragedy is not being lost. The greatest tragedy is refusing to be found. Many of you have spent your whole lives trying to be in control, trying to map out your own path, believing that if you just worked hard enough, planned well enough, you could create a life that made sense. But life has a way of breaking down our illusions of control. You may have thought you had everything figured out, but then something happened. A failure, a betrayal, an unexpected loss, and suddenly you found yourself adrift, without direction, without answers. And now you don't know where to turn. There are some of you here today who have been searching for years. You have read books, studied philosophies, traveled the world, seeking wisdom, seeking understanding. You have explored every possible path, and yet you still feel empty. My friends, the reason you have not found what you are looking for is because you have been searching in the wrong places. You have been looking for meaning in things that cannot provide it. You have been seeking fulfillment in things that were never meant to satisfy your soul. And then there are those of you who have simply given up. You have accepted the idea that life has no real purpose, that you are just another person going through the motions, that nothing you do really matters. You have allowed the weight of this world to press you down until you no longer even have the strength to hope. But my friends, that is not the life you were created for. You were not meant to wander aimlessly through this world without direction, without hope, without purpose. You were meant for something far greater. But you must be willing to take the first step. You must be willing to stop running, to stop pretending, to stop searching for answers in all the wrong places. You must be willing to open your heart to the truth, to humble yourself enough to admit that you cannot do this on your own. Because the moment you do, everything changes. Some of you may be thinking, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know how to take that first step. I don't know where to begin. My friends, it begins with a choice to stop running, a choice to stop numbing the pain, a choice to stop chasing after things that will never satisfy. It begins with a willingness to be honest with yourself, with others, with the one who has been calling you all along. Maybe you are afraid of what it will mean to let go, afraid of what it will require of you. Maybe you have spent so long living a certain way that the idea of change feels impossible. But I tell you today, there is no fear, no doubt, no hesitation that can outweigh the peace that comes when you finally step out of the darkness and into the light. Some of you are holding on to the past. You are weighed down by regret, by shame, by the mistakes you have made. You believe that your past disqualifies you, that you are too broken to be made whole again. But my friends, the past does not have to define you. Your mistakes do not have to be the end of your story. You are not beyond redemption. No matter where you have been, no matter what you have done, no matter how lost you may feel, there is still hope. There is still a way home. But time is short. None of us are promised tomorrow. Life is fleeting and the days slip away faster than we realize. And so I ask you, how much longer will you wait? How much longer will you wander, searching for something that is right in front of you? How much longer will you let fear or doubt or pride keep you from stepping into the life you were meant to live? You don't have to be lost anymore. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You don't have to keep searching for answers in places that will never provide them. The answer has been there all along, waiting for you to stop running, waiting for you to stop searching in all the wrong places, waiting for you to take that first step. And so I ask you today, will you take that step? Will you open your heart? Will you choose to stop wandering and finally come home? The choice is yours. The time is now. And if you make that choice, if you take that step, you will find that you were never truly lost at all. You were always being guided, always being called, always being led towards something greater than you ever could have imagined. My friends, I ask you again, how long will you keep wandering, feeling lost in this life, without direction, without purpose, without peace? How many more nights will you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering why nothing truly satisfies? Why no matter what you achieve, no matter how much you gain, there is still an emptiness inside of you that nothing seems to fill. How many more days will you go through the motions, pretending to be fine, smiling when people ask how you are, while deep inside, you feel like you are standing on the edge of a vast and endless void? I know that feeling. Some of you know it too well. It is the weight of a life that seems meaningless, the burden of a soul that is searching, always searching, but never finding what it truly needs. You wake up, you go to work, you laugh with friends, you push forward, you chase dreams. But there is always that moment when the noise dies down, when the distractions fade, and you are left with yourself. And in those moments, the truth becomes clear. You are lost. You have spent years building a life, but something is missing. You have tried to be strong, but inside you feel weak. You have tried to fill the void with pleasure, with success, with people, with experiences, but nothing ever lasts. Nothing ever truly satisfies, and so you run. Some of you have been running your whole lives, trying to escape the emptiness. You fill your days with work, with goals, with ambitions, because you think that if you stay busy enough, if you accomplish enough, you won't have to think about the deeper questions. Others run in different ways, through distractions, through addiction, through relationships that never truly satisfy, through chasing after things that only leave you feeling more lost than before. And still, no matter how far you run, no matter how much you try to escape it, the truth follows you. There are some of you who have reached a place of such deep despair that you no longer even believe there is a way out. You feel like you are trapped, like you have wandered too far, made too many mistakes, burned too many bridges. You tell yourself that maybe this is just how life is, wandering, drifting, surviving, but never truly living. Maybe you have convinced yourself that this is all there is, that the longing in your soul will never be satisfied, that the questions will never be answered. But, my friends, that is a lie. You were never meant to be lost. You were never meant to live a life of wandering without direction. You were created for something greater. You were made for a purpose. Some of you have spent years searching for that purpose. You have looked for it in relationships, believing that if you could just find the right person, then you would feel whole. But no person on this earth can fill the deepest need of your soul. Others have tried to find meaning in power and money and success, thinking that if you could just climb high enough, achieve enough, gain enough, then you would finally be happy. But even those who have reached the top, even those who have gained everything this world has to offer, will tell you that it is never enough. It is like chasing the wind. Others have tried to find meaning in knowledge and philosophy, in seeking out wisdom from the world. You have read books, traveled the world, studied every idea, searching for answers, hoping that one day something will finally make sense. But even with all the knowledge in the world, even with all the wisdom that human minds can offer, the deepest questions remain unanswered. And so you keep searching, wandering from one idea to the next, hoping that maybe this time you will finally find what you are looking for. And then there are those of you who have stopped searching altogether. You have given up. You have accepted the idea that life is just a series of meaningless events. that there is no greater purpose, no true meaning, no hope beyond what you can see in front of you. Maybe life has beaten you down. Maybe you have faced disappointment after disappointment until you finally decided that there is no point in hoping anymore. Maybe you have been hurt, betrayed, broken until you no longer even believe that life can be anything more than pain. And so you exist, moving through each day, but never truly living. My friends, listen to me. You do not have to live this way. You do not have to stay lost. There is a way home. There is a path that leads out of the wilderness. There is an answer to the questions that have haunted you for so long. But you must be willing to stop running. You must be willing to stop searching in all the wrong places. You must be willing to stop believing the lie that you are too far gone, that you have wandered too far, that you cannot be found. Some of you are afraid. You are afraid of what it will mean to change. You are afraid of what it will require of you. You have spent so long living a certain way, so long building up walls around your heart, so long pretending that you don't need help, that the thought of letting go, of stepping into something new, feels terrifying. But my friends, there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to lose except the weight that has been holding you down for so long. There is nothing to give up except the chains that have kept you bound. I know that some of you are skeptical. You are sitting here listening to these words, but in your heart, you are thinking, this is not for me. This is for other people, for those who are weak, for those who need something to believe in. But deep down in the quiet places of your soul, you know the truth. You know that no matter how strong you appear on the outside, no matter how much you have built your life on your own strength, you are still searching, you are still longing, you are still lost. And I tell you today, there is a way out. There is a road that leads home. But you must be willing to take the first step. You must be willing to stop running, to stop pretending, to stop searching in places that will never satisfy. You must be willing to open your heart, to listen to the voice that has been calling you all along. Time is short, my friends. None of us know how many days we have left. None of us are promised tomorrow. And so I ask you, how much longer will you wait? How much longer will you keep wandering, searching, running, when the answer has been right in front of you all along? How much longer will you let fear or doubt or pride keep you from stepping into the life you were meant to live? You don't have to be lost anymore. You don't have to carry this weight any longer. You don't have to keep searching for something that will never satisfy. The door is open. The path is clear, but you must make the choice. You must take the step. You must decide that today is the day you stop wandering and finally find the way home. And when you do, everything will change. The weight will lift. The emptiness will be filled. The questions will be answered. The searching will come to an end, and you will know for the first time in your life what it truly means to be found. My friends, I urge you to hear this today. Life is not meant to be lived in confusion and fear and uncertainty. You were not created to drift aimlessly, to wander from one thing to the next, never finding what your soul is truly searching for. You were meant to live with purpose, with clarity, with a heart full of peace and a mind free from the torment of doubt. But you cannot find that by following the ways of this world. You cannot find that by chasing after things that will one day fade away. You cannot find that by trying to do it all on your own. Some of you have been carrying burdens for so long that you no longer even know what it feels like to be free. You have been weighed down by regret, by shame, by fear of the future, by wounds from the past. You have convinced yourself that this is just how life is, that the heaviness you feel every day is normal, that the exhaustion in your soul is something you simply have to live with. But that is not true. You are not meant to carry this alone. You are not meant to live under the weight of things that were never yours to bear. Maybe you have tried to fix yourself. Maybe you have tried to heal on your own, to make things right by your own strength. You have told yourself that if you just work harder, if you just become a better person, if you just do enough, then maybe the emptiness will go away. But no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you achieve, it never seems to be enough. The ache remains, the longing persists. And so you keep searching, you keep striving, you keep hoping that maybe one day you will finally feel whole. But my friends, the answer is not in doing more. It is not in working harder. It is not in achieving greater things. The answer has never been in the things of this world. The answer has always been waiting for you, calling you, drawing you in. The moment you realize that, the moment you stop running, the moment you open your heart, everything will change. The weight will lift. The fear will disappear. The wandering will come to an end. And for the first time, you will know what it means to truly live. My friends, the time has come to make a choice. You have wandered long enough. You have searched in all the wrong places, carried burdens that were never meant for you, and chased after things that have left you empty. But today you stand at a crossroads. You can continue down the same path, hoping that one day something will change, or you can make the decision to stop running, to stop searching in vain, and to finally find the peace and purpose that have been waiting for you all along. You were never meant to be lost. You were never meant to live in confusion, doubt, or despair. There is a way home, a path that leads to everything your heart has been longing for. But you must take the first step. You must be willing to let go of the things that have kept you bound. You must be willing to surrender the weight you have been carrying. And when you do, when you finally stop striving, stop fighting, stop trying to do it all on your own, you will find the peace you've been searching for all your life. So my friends, I ask you one final time, how much longer will you wait? How much longer will you wander? The door is open. The way is clear. The time is now. Will you take the first step? Will you finally come home?